Is 1 month from today when Minnesota's new paid family and medical leave law takes effect on January 1. Minnesota is now the 13th state in the nation to have something like this, and you probably got a notice from your employer. They had a deadline here of today to really inform you about what it means for you, and it could change things too. If your company probably might have some leave already in place, some of these things run concurrently. A lot to try to unpack here. So we're going to take a few minutes here to bring in Justin Terch to talk about this. You are the state director of the Minnesota State Council of the Society for Human Resource Management, long title, also managing partner of Terch and Associates, which helps companies deal with some of these legal issues surrounding this. First of all, let's begin. Just give us a background here, what the state legislature passed this past year that takes effect now on January 1. What's coming?
Yeah, so it's Minnesota paid leave. So a lot of people are familiar with FMLA at the federal level, where you get 12 weeks of time off, usually unpaid, to care for the birth of a child, to take care of your own, medical emergency or that of a family member. This law actually is a state law that was passed in 2023 that provides partial compensation for folks that are out on that leave. And instead of it being 12 weeks, it's 12 weeks of sick leave, 12 weeks of family leave, up to a maximum of 20 weeks.
So any combination, therefore, max of 20 weeks.
Correct.
Okay. So, and how does this then, change? You mentioned FMLA, the federal level. Some companies did some companies offer some of their own kind of leave things as part of their compensation and benefits packages?
So a lot of employers have short-term disability insurance, which provides compensation for, wage replacement, usually at about 60%. For those employers, basically they'll be shifting mostly to the state for the funding. And then the employees and employers each pay a premium tax that is taken out of their paycheck in order to fund the program. Companies that are over 50 employees that are subject to FMLA, they'll still have to kind of follow the federal rules as well as the state rules.
And this is, so you'll see an additional deduction on your paycheck, and I think it was like 0.88%. And again, that may be all covered by the employee. It may be split among the employee and the employer.
So the employer can either pay all of it, or they can pay half of it, and the employee is required to pay the other half.
Okay.
So employer at a minimum has to pay for 50% of it, and that 8A tax rate's a little lower for companies with less than 30 employees.
Okay. So then, essentially, what do employees need to know about how they can utilize this if they have some sort of either personal medical emergency or family medical issue? And I know that's more than just medical issues. It could be bonding. It could be the birth of a new child, etc. What do they need to know about how they can use it and when?
Yeah, so they'll be eligible to begin using it on January 1st. They need to go to the Minnesota Department of Economic and Employment website and file an application. And the earlier they can get their employer involved in that process, the better, because it streamlines the approval process at the state. So I think it's important for employees and employers to kind of look at this as a collaborative opportunity and to make sure they're on the same page as they're going through the process so that there isn't unnecessary delays.
Okay, so I know for personal reasons, it could be surgery, injury, chronic condition, pregnancy, childbirth, etc. Family reasons listed as bonding with a child through birth, adoption, or foster placement, caring for family members with serious issues, supporting a military family member called to active duty, etc. What is not eligible to use either of these benefits?
Well, Minnesota is pretty expansive on their qualifying reasons and the list of what we call a qualified family member. So that means a person that you'd be taking time off to care for. So it's a pretty extensive list, much more extensive than the federal law. The main requirement is that you're not able to work for 7 or more days. And so there's a 7-day kind of exclusionary period at the beginning of any leave. So it's really meant for long-term leave, either continuous or intermittent, that has a substantial, documented reason for it. So the employee is going to have to get medical documentation, and get that to the state, and the state will make a determination on their own as to who qualifies and who doesn't based on their rules.
And then it's a portion of your normal pay.
Right.
How is that determined?
Yeah, so it's about 55% of your pay up to 90%, and the lower income folks get the most benefit. They get the biggest wage replacement. So as you go up in the income stream, the wage replacement goes down, and the weekly maximum, the most anybody could get, is about $1,430 a week.
Okay, and then this also comes with some protections. If you use a leave like this, there are some protections for the employee when they return. Explain what those are.
Yeah, those are reinstatement rights. So when an employee leaves on protected paid family medical leave, they have the right to come back to the same job, and their insurance benefits need to be continued just as if they were at work. And that means employers are going to have to be particularly cognizant of the operational disruption that'll have, especially in smaller businesses. I'm thinking about schools, nursing homes, hospitals, things that having a person there that knows what they're doing is really critical. This will have some disruptions to that. So it's important for companies to really think through that and employers to really plan for it so that they aren't caught off guard and they're able to manage their operations and continue to serve their customers.
Part of this is that employers are forbidden from retaliating against you if you use this leave.
That's correct. So employees have the right to come back to their job at the same terms and conditions they had before. So employers can't retaliate or demote somebody or threaten to terminate somebody for using the leave.
Okay. How significant of a change is this for workers in Minnesota?
This will be a major significant event for both employees and employers. It's going to have great opportunities for employees to take time off for much needed reasons, and it's also going to create a lot of operational challenges for businesses in our state. We're the first state in the Midwest to do this.
Yeah, and my wife works in HR, and so she told me too that this has been it's challenging to try to deal with some of the changes. I mean, how much of a challenge is that for companies?
It's going to be a major operation. Staffing is a real problem throughout the state. We have a labor shortage in Minnesota and a population decline in much of the state. And this will be very impactful to making sure basic services are delivered to the public, whether it's police and fire or it's the local shop on the corner. Okay.
All right. And again, anything else people need to know? I know they're probably getting notices from their employers about this.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to note is that this is a benefit from the state of Minnesota. And so employees really should collaborate with their employers as early as possible when they foresee leave and make sure they're getting their application and their documentation in timely.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Justin Terch here to talk about all things HR in terms of Minnesota paid leave. Appreciate it. It's a lot to navigate for sure.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks so much. There you go. Minnesota paid leave beginning in 1 month. And hopefully you've got notice from your employer telling you all the parameters of this and your rights as an employee to exercise it.